What's up, guys? Que paso, amigos? We are out here in Tulum, Mexico. We just wrapped up a 7-day business mastermind. I'm here with my guy, Chidi, who's the founder of Just Pended Media, and he's also a business coach in the real estate media space. How you feeling?
Fantastic. These pina coladas starting to get a little buzz going on.
Yeah, a little buzz going on with the pina coladas. We got a couple drinks. Just wrapped up a podcast. How long have you been in the business for?
Yeah, sweet. So, I've been shooting real estate for 6 years now or so, but I really decided to go all in on real estate in 3 years, coming up on 3 years almost exactly, right in the middle of COVID, where a lot of my freelance video work basically got canceled as soon as COVID lockdown happened. And so I had one client call me up and say, "Yo, Chidi, you still shooting real estate?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm there." And that's when I decided to go all in on real estate, find a niche, and actually build a real business versus operating like a freelancer, because you're going to get capped out pretty quickly when you're a one-man band and operate your business like one.
Yeah, so you had some video production work going on the side before you kind of went all in on real estate media. What made you want to just focus all in on real estate media instead of just, a bunch of different content?
Yeah, great question. The biggest thing is it's hard to scale when you're a freelance videographer. You're always going to have your money and revenue tied to the amount of hours you put in, whereas if you become a business owner, have a real team, real systems, real processes, you can disconnect your time from money. As in, I've been on vacation for the past pretty much month now. We've been masterminding, spending our time doing productive stuff, but I've been not doing any work in my business. We still operate, money's still hitting the bank account, and clients are still happy, and they don't even know I'm on vacation. So that was the difference. I wanted a business that can truly eventually run without me, instead of every single thing in my business being reliant on me to get done.
Sure. Nice.
And make way more money.
Nice. So you have 4 locations with Just Pended right now. How many photographers do you have working?
Probably across the whole team, we probably have anywhere from 8 to 12, depending on slow season versus busy season. We are contractors, so some, leave during slow season, but pretty much any given time, we have anywhere from like 12, around a dozen team members on payroll.
Walk me through the journey from getting to that size team.
For sure, yeah. It all started, I guess, from day one. So since I had my freelance video background and I had this vision for like a company that could run without me, I knew I needed to hire as soon as we niched down into real estate. And so from day one, I think I reached out to my guy Ken, who's still with us 3 years to this day. He's MVP of our first location, hands down. And reached out to a buddy I knew who was a free hobbyist photographer. He said, "Hey, I'm doing this real estate thing. Do you want to come check it out? I think we could crush it." And he was down. And so it started with him, and then editors. And then basically, as we started to grow, I realized, we're getting to 10, 20, 30, 40K months, and there's no way we're going to sustainably handle that with just 2 people. So that's when I figured out, okay, I need to hire additional photographers. How do we do that in a smart way? And that's when I realized we should hire contractors, pay them per project so that it can be a bit more scalable versus taking on all this overhead. To where slow season comes around and we just bleed cash flow.
Yeah.
Which I still did learn that lesson the hard way when I hired my manager, because I hired him full-time salary. And so when revenue dipped down during slow seasons in Alaska, I felt the pain of that and learned the hard way for sure.
Sure. If somebody is a solo real estate photographer and they're either part-time or they're full-time, but they're kind of, stuck around $2,000 to $7,000 per month, and they want to take it to the next level and scale out a team, what recommendations or what pieces of advice can you give them?
Sure. So yeah, in the earlier stages of business, as in like getting to 10K a month, you really should just be focused on client acquisition, sales. There's a few key systems you need to have locked in place. You shouldn't be editing, which will free up your time to do more sales, marketing, outreach to get new clients. You should have an online booking system like HD Photo Hub, so clients can go and schedule online and you look more professional and legit. Once those 2 pieces are taken care of, literally just spend every single waking hour focus on getting new clients. And the best way to do that is by reaching out through Instagram and Facebook with a no-brainer, irresistible offer, we call it. And so we've given away free videos pretty much since we started on agents' listings. And so that's been the number one way to get client. A lot of people will try to charge full price out the gate. But the reality is agents are busy and they already have someone doing their media, right? So like, why should they give you the time of day and chance to shoot their next listing, which is a risk to them because they don't know you yet, right? And so you have to give them something that's enticing enough to give you that chance to get your foot in the door. And when I first started, back in the day, we were giving away like completely free shoots, full knockout packages, like every single service for free or for only $200, just ridiculous offers. But it's just because we were hungry, and I was playing with the end goal in mind, like whatever I can do to get an opportunity to crush it for the client, I'll do it. And so that hustle mentality in the early stages from 0 to 10K a month, super important. After 10K a month, you kind of have to switch gears into more systems, processes, and teams. But even getting 0 to 15K, you can actually push to like 15, 20K solo before you should really switch directions and focus on a couple different things that will allow you to scale to like 30, 40, 50K months.
What advice would you give somebody who has never worked with a coach, a business coach, and they're kind of on the fence and they're thinking about it, but it's a lot of money for them to invest at this point? What advice can you give to somebody that's looking to maybe hire a business coach but doesn't know if they want to?
For sure. So, I mean, for people scared to invest in themselves, I mean, one quick thing is like, I love asking people how much have they invested in gear, and then how much have they invested into their own personal growth and knowledge and coaching to help get them to their goals, right? Because that next new drone, that couple $1,000 new camera, or that expensive new lens isn't going to be what gets you to the 10, 20, 30, 40K mark. It's really knowledge and skill sets as an entrepreneur and business owner that are going to get you there. And you can either learn that by trial and error, doing it all on your own and figuring out, or just paying someone that's already done it to give you the fast track to success. So in my own journey, every single big kind of pivotal step, a lot of those moments were actually routed in coaching, investing, or somehow getting around masterminds or people that have done it. And those solid nuggets of advice, like niching down from a freelance videographer to real estate media business. I had a coach that I hired that told me I need to niche down. So that was a huge game changer for me. Next thing, when I got stuck at 15, 20K a month, I needed to figure out how to get more clients faster. That's when I invested in a super expensive another coaching program. That's where I learned how client acquisition, how to get new clients through social media. So that was a game changer for our business model. So every stage of my growth when I really trace it all back, it kind of came from me investing into a coaching program or mentor to teach me the way, because I didn't want to spend 3 years figuring it out myself. I wanted to move fast.
Yeah.
And so every step of the way, I've really invested into a coach to solve a problem that I was currently bottlenecked at, so that I could move past it faster.
Yeah.
Not have to figure it out on my own.
Don't be afraid to invest in yourself. It's definitely the best investment you can make. It'll take you so far. People in the business space that I've seen just go so far so fast have constantly invested in themselves and continue to reinvest in themselves. Whether it's coaching or whatever it is, they're always just investing in themselves, and they're able to go so far so fast.
No doubt.
Yeah. So you're clearly into fitness. Big guy over here, big arms. Talk to us about how fitness translates to business.
Yeah, so my first big journey in life was my fitness journey, which was going from 330 pounds, losing 140 pounds, and getting down to like 185 over the course of 5 years. It taught me a handful of things that directly crossed over into helping me scale the business fast. One was just like discipline, just seeing that like hard work and like real, true, lasting results. There's no fast track or shortcut to it. It's just putting in the work consistently over a long-term basis. Like, there's no easy diet that's going to help you lose 100 pounds in 30 days and actually keep it off. The true thing to get you to success is just like embracing the hard work and discipline and doing it consistently over time. So that's one. The second thing is also like your habits are directly correlated with your success, right? Like what you're doing is directly translates to where you'll end up, and where you're at now is a result of your past habits of the last 5 years, 10 years, right? And so if you look at that from a fitness perspective, hey, like if you're not currently in as good shape as you are right now, how many workouts have you done on average over the past year, right? How has your diet been over the past year? And then if you're not happy with your bank account or your business revenue, like how much effort have you put in to getting those numbers where you want them to be? You'll find it's very clear that when you're not happy with those numbers or the end result, it's a result of the lack of the inputs that would have gotten you to the end result. And so just realizing that weight loss and, putting in work consistently over time, and then also changing my habits on a day-to-day basis. And then even another one is like changing my identity. Like, who do I see myself as when I look in the mirror, when I think about who Chidi is? Like, am I that overweight kid who has no confidence, who can't do a single push-up, who can't run a mile at all? Or what has shifted now to I see myself as an athlete. And so like, how do athletes behave? They work out hard, they put in work in the gym, they eat healthy, they're mindful about their nutrition and health, right? Same thing in business. Like, I went from a struggling freelancer to where, I was all over the place, no systems, no processes, had to do every single thing myself, to business owner mentality, CEO Chidi, who is more about delegation, hiring, systems, processes, marketing. And so those shifts are like putting on different hats and like really trying to mentally imagine who I need to become to get where I want to go has helped me tremendously.
So you have Just Funded Media, you have a large real estate media company. Do you have any ventures going on outside of real estate media?
So a couple of years ago, I was able to buy my first fourplex. So that was a pretty pivotal moment for me because, when I thought about like, why do I want to become a business owner? It isn't just to work super hard and bust my ass all day, every day, forever.
Yeah.
So starting to be smart about how I invest my money after I make active income and turn it into passive income through real estate was always my end goal. And so after getting my business off the ground and hitting certain milestones of my business, making real money and starting to be smart with it, be able to save it up, I realized I should put into something that's going to be more of a long-term investment. So I ended up buying a fourplex. And that was a really awesome moment because I always had imagined owning real estate. And this is the first time I actually owned something that creates passive income without me having to actively work on it. I have a manager who manages a property. And so those checks hit my bank account every month. And it's just crazy because I literally forget I have the property sometimes. And then I'll get the rent check or see the deposit in my bank account. And it's pretty sweet. And so, but the process behind that was basically just, applying to get a loan. So as soon as I started to make good money, as a self-employed person, you need at least 2 years from that same LLC tax return to be able to qualify for getting pre-approved for a loan. So that was step number one. Step number two was choosing one of my clients, a real estate agent that had rentals themselves, which I believe is key. If you're going to buy a rental, find someone who does it actively themselves. If they're a real estate agent that doesn't own real estate themselves, don't work with them to help you buy a rental property. So that was pivotal. And then step number three was really pulling the trigger, like getting my finances right. So saving up my money, being smart with my spending for a handful of years, living as cheap as I could, save up that cash flow to be able to pull the trigger when the time was right. And then a bonus tip, like if you're looking to buy real estate, is also like start to invest into the knowledge to understand how things work, how to property manage, how, real estate investments work, how the numbers behind a property work, cash flow, pro formas, what makes a good rental property versus what makes a bad rental property, and in your market, what to look for, in terms of the different types of properties, like which ones are going to produce cash flow, which ones, what neighborhoods, what areas, what locations are solid. But a solid agent will be able to tell you a lot about that. But basically, if you are looking to invest in property, find out what it will take and then get prepared. So spend a lot of time. Don't rush into just buying it as soon as possible. Take time to really make sure you're coming at it from a place of a solid foundation in terms of the knowledge of understanding how real estate works and also the finances behind it. If you skip those first two steps, you can get yourself in a pretty sticky situation pretty quick with real estate.
Nice. Nice. Pull.